Coach, it's a day for celebration in the East Bay. It is, for all intents and purposes, the final chapter of what has been a great era of football here in Oakland, California. Oh, the folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now it's the former Texan. This is Alfred Blue. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop. Foles. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber. Go. Motion. 44, Mike. Ready?
Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs.
Watch the screen.
On 2nd and 2, Manning, and nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense, everybody wants a piece of that pie.
Manning looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it, and they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars.
Next to score, Jaguars 7, Raiders 0.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Looking to throw on second down. Flowers caught by Nelson left side. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. From the gun on third down. Flowers being chased out left.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a second and long.
Set, hut. Now the wolf. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Go. Rush it. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
Second and 15. Flushed out right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Check 30 slot. No. Motion. Reset.
From the gun on third down. Flowers. It's caught. Nelson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Flowers under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you got a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now,
or
very
lights
quickly,
out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Oakland, the homestanding Raiders with the football here. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
Rush in.
From the gun, Flowers. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Calais Campbell make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 40 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Go! Pick! 54's Mike. Check. Watch. Hey, Echo! Pilot, 60.
Now on 2nd and 13. Foles. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Cleveland Farrell, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Hey, watch out. Check right, 54. Bravo. Exit.
Here's Foles. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Credit the sack there to Arden Key. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. This is Richard, and an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Flush to his right, and he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Off play action. Flowers rolling to his right. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun. Flowers. Escaping the pressure right. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Santos' kick is up and through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now Foles. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
Raiders 6. Josh Lambeau, the kickoff for Jacksonville.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. It's a short, now a hit, and a loose football. And the Jags grab it, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball secured. And that ball is caught by DJ Chark from... Jags touchdown. DJ Chark with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Lambeau on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked to his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Let's go. Empties the mic. Blue Dan.
On third down, Richard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jaguars will take over at their 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Keeper. Hey, Haywood.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
Let's go, defense.
One.
Man up, D.
54 is Mike. Check.
Go. 54.
He'll look to throw. It's complete to Chris Conley. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. One play has him to the 37 here for first and 10.
I'm here all day.
Going 5-3. Mike 5-4.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Looking to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
He's going right at him.
14.
Go.
Get in the weight room.
Hey, Kaden.
14. Mike 14. Hey, here I come.
Hey, box truck.
On first down, he'll drop to throw, eluding the pressure right. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on first and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10.
Second time, defense. Let's go.
Right there.
Second and 10. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Off the play fake. Flowers lets it go for Nelson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
On the ground, Richard. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on first and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He hits blue. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. Second and 3. They'll run on second down with Blue. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And Lambeau will put this one through. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
You got tight. Go. You got tight. You got tight right there.
On first and 10, Flowers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he lost the football, and the Jags grab it. And he's got some space here. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. And, well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. To throw again on second down. Foles. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, 66 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Running is Jacobs. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on third and long. Flowers. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Taking on the midfield logo. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
I'm coming. Water.
Watch twins.
Hey, Alpha.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to take a shot. And that ball is caught by DJ Chark for the Jags touchdown.
Touchdown, Jacksonville.
DJ Chark, 32 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking to throw. Flowers looking deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Cleveland Farrell in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. 2nd and long. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next? And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the 2nd straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Jacobs now. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
13. 54. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. They keep it with Fournette on first down. He's got a first down and more past the 30. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. To throw on second down. Flowers. That's caught. It's Malone. And I think the ball's out. And the Jags grab it. Charles, he lost a fumble last week as well. So now back-to-back weeks, maybe you expect that from your tailback, but not him.
You're exactly right, because you work a lot with your running backs about how they have to protect the ball in traffic. But downfield, in open space, that's dangerous as well, because you may make someone miss, and their flailing hand can knock the ball away if you don't tuck it away.
And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10.
What we got? What we got?
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the Raiders have got him. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. They're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and about a mile here.
Win the rep, let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The Jaguars on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to look deep down the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Former Buckeye first-rounder Garyon Conley there to knock that away. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down.